Yo, what is up, everybody? It is your boy High C here. We are going to be making a tier list today of all of the Sonic Racing Crossworlds tracks, where they sit in those tracks. We're going to be doing a top 5, and then after that, it's just going to be kind of going down the list from there. So, feel free to hang out, chill, sit back, enjoy the video, and if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. Alright, so we're going to be making our tier list today. The order of all of the tracks down at the bottom are in order of tracks first and then Crossworlds second. So we'll be going kind of in the order that that's in. So we'll go through all the tracks and then we'll rank all the Crossworlds. All on here. Our ranks are top 5 for our top 5 spots. Great, solid, true mid, and oof. Like, I'm just not a vibing with those tracks. I don't like those tracks. I'll go ahead and spoil this for you. There's not that many oofs on here. So we're going to start off with East Stadium. East Stadium, in my opinion, is one of the greatest intro tracks in a kart racing game. I have not played a kart racing game that has a better intro track than East Stadium. East Stadium is one of my favorite tracks in the game. I love it a lot. It's so much fun to go through, so much fun to play. I've played it so many times grinding for Donpa tickets, and I'm still really not tired of it. I think the Crossworlds mechanic helps a lot with that, but even racing it for track 1, for lap 1, lap 2, I don't have any problems with East Stadium. For me, it goes in a top 5. I do want to say we'll put top 5 contenders up here. It may get to more than 5, and then we have to bring them down, but right, and then we'll reorder them into a true top 5 at the end. Next up, we have Rainbow Garden. Rainbow Garden is a track that I did not like at first. I still don't love it. I did not like it at first, but it has grown on me. I think it's a fun track. It's a fun track. Like, I don't hate it. It's a track that I played a lot in the open network test, and I've played it occasionally, but if it comes up in online voting, I'm probably not going to vote for Rainbow Garden. So I think it is the definition of solid. It's not a great track. It's a solid track. It introduces the flight mechanic, but that's about it. Next up, we have Water Palace. Water Palace is a track that I didn't really vibe with when I first played it, and I still don't really vibe with it. To me, it doesn't have enough fun stuff going on with it. It's, it introduces the water mechanic in that first Grand Prix, but it's not forcing anything. Like, it doesn't make anything fun with the water mechanic. There's not a lot of fun shortcuts or anything in it. It's just a very straightforward track. And because of that, I think Water Palace is a true mid. I am not the biggest fan of Water Palace. It's alright, but that's about it. Like, it's alright. It's truly just mid. Next up, we have Metal Harbor. Metal Harbor is a great track. When I played the open network test, it was my favorite track. That was probably just due to some bias for Sonic Adventure 2. I still love it. I think it's a fun track. Time trials on it are a lot of fun. I feel like there's a lot of ways to optimize where you're at in the track. The shortcuts are pretty hard. Like, they're but and also valuable at the same time. But if you don't take them, it's not the end of the world. So I think Metal Harbor is truly a great track. I love racing on Metal Harbor. If it comes up, I will play Metal Harbor if it comes up in online. Maybe not 2 or 3 times in a row. I won't vote for it, but I will vote for it on the occasion. So next up, we've got Sand Road. This is the second track of the second Grand Prix. I did not like this track a lot at first, and it kind of grew on me. I think it's good. I don't think it's great. I don't have a lot of opinions on it. It's solid. That's about it. I don't have a ton of opinions on Sand Road. It's good, but it's not great. So yeah. Next up, we have Color from All. I will be very honest. I know a lot of people like this track. I know a lot of people loved this track when they were playing it. I know a lot of people find this track a lot of fun. At first, I did not agree with those people. I thought this track was absolutely awful when I first played it. For like probably like the first 10 times I played it, I thought this track was truly awful. But I don't think that anymore. The more I play this track, time trials on this track, the more I play this track online, I think this is a very fun track. It's got a lot of room for optimization. It's got a lot of room for fun. There's different paths everywhere. Like you can take different paths to avoid items. You can try to, you know, cut from one level to the next. Like it is a ton of fun. I have a lot of fun playing on this track, and that is something that makes this track a top 5 track for me. Next up, we have Mystic Jungle. Mystic Jungle is another track that when I first played it, I was like, this track is absolutely awful. I hate this track. This track is annoying. I don't like it. It's not fun. The water section at the very beginning, that's not a boat section, but is a water section, really threw me off at the very beginning. But the more I play this track, the more I like this track. I like being able to kind of weave in and out and take like the different ramps at the beginning that from the half pipe and take different ways to like jump over into different sections. I think that makes it a lot of fun. This track also, I feel like I fall off of more, or like other people also fall off of a decent bit during online in those sections because you get hit by an item if you're going for a jump or something, and you know you're kind of screwed at that point. So I really like this track. I think it is a really good track. I even think that it is a great track. I love Mystic Jungle. It's something that time trials really helped with that one for me, running through the time trials and also just playing the track more and kind of getting familiar with it. The more I get familiar with a lot of these tracks, the more I like more of these tracks. It takes a lot for me to dislike a track in this game. I think they had great track design. Next up, we have Apotos. This track was like absolute chaos during the open network test because everybody would get the monster trucks and just run over you from the very beginning. However, it's still fun. Like it's very weird because it falls in a spot for me where the track itself I think is very boring design wise. It doesn't have a lot going for it. The atmosphere, in my opinion, the environments are not great. I do not love the environments in this track at all. I think it's very bland. I'm not like a big Sonic Unleashed fan, so there's not a lot there for me. I need to play recompiled so that I can kind of see how I feel about the game now in 2025 opposed to last time I played it, which was probably at release. Um, so it's hit or miss for me. It's not great. It's I genuinely I think it's just gonna have to go in true mid. I don't love this stage. I don't hate this stage. I'm not gonna vote for it. It just exists for me. All right, next up we have Wonder Museum. Wonder Museum is a really good track. The environments in it are really great. I love that the dinosaurs come to life on the third lap. I think that makes it incredibly interesting. I think that there's a lot of cool optimizations you can take in this track. I think the drifting in this track is a lot of fun. My only thing that I don't love about this track is that I feel like the ending of the third lap is just like there's not enough to it. Like you get items, like the item boxes are thrown out really weird, so you kind of have to hang on to your items, but if you want to catch up, like you need to burn your items and there's not a way to get more items, and it feels very boring towards the end. Like the end of the third lap is one where I feel like sometimes it's just a lost cause, which isn't a problem if the rest of the tracks in the game felt that way, but it feels very different from other tracks in the game in that way, where I just don't feel like it's on the same level of we need to be right there at it as everybody else. I feel like I can hold a lead in this track better on the third lap, and I feel like it's harder for me to catch up to someone on the third lap for this track. With that being said, though, I do think this track is great. I love playing this track. I think the environments are great. It's cool to see a bunch of different stuff thrown throughout. It's a bunch of, like, all the different Easter eggs and stuff are really awesome. I'm a big fan of Wonder Museum, and it is one that oftentimes I will vote for if it comes up in the online section. Next up, we have Crystal Mine. Crystal Mine is also a track. At first, I was like, "What? Like, what does this track have going for it?" And then I was able to see some of the shortcuts and stuff that people do on this track. Matt Beach put out a really cool video on some of the shortcuts and stuff that he does on this track, and it is really awesome. I love it. I like these shortcuts and stuff have made this track a lot more fun for me. It's fun to grind in time trials. It's a really fun track. It's not great. It's not amazing. It's not top 5. But it has slowly become a solid track. At the beginning of the game, when I first started playing that track, I would have put it in oof territory immediately. Like, that was not a good track, in my opinion, when the game first came out. Not secondly, what am I talking about? We are so much further than second on this. Next up, we have Ocean View. Ocean View is a track that I really, really like. I think the drifting on this track is so much fun. So much on this track is great. The water section's really good. The music is superb. This track, for me, I actually think might be a top 5 track. It is just so much fun to play on. I love it a lot. Yeah, I think it's a top 5 track for me, which is shocking because I wasn't expecting to say that at first. But the more I think about it, yeah, I really do love Ocean View. Like, it is a really awesome track. Next up, we have Urban Canyon. And I'm going to be honest, Urban Canyon is a very forgettable track. Every time I see that this track is in the game, I completely have spaced about it. I don't remember it's in the game. It's not one that I'm, like, thinking through the tracks. And, like, I can come up with most of these. And then Urban Canyon, I'm like, have I even played that one before? Knowing I have. But, yeah, Urban Canyon is super forgettable, in my opinion. Nothing about it stands out to me. It is a very boring track, and I actually think that's going to be the first one that goes into oof because I can't even remember that it's in the game most of the time. It comes up, and I'm like, oh, that is in the game, huh? So after that, we've got Market Street. Market Street is another one of those tracks that grew on me. At first, when I played it, I was like, I don't know. Like, it feels very boring. It feels like it's not all that, like, it's not super alive. It's not these fun, colorful environments. It's Market Street. But the more I race it, the more different shortcuts and stuff I can find. Like, it is a very fun track to race. It is awesome. I do pick it a lot going online. It's one of my more preferred tracks online. I think it's a very fun track to race in. It's very chaotic. There's plenty of spots to pass people, take a different path from someone, take the ring path on the 3rd lap. I think it is a very good time. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a solid track. Coral Town. So, Coral Town is not my favorite track. I think it is very bleh. I know there's some shortcuts and stuff that save a lot of time and are pretty, like, necessary and stuff from what I've heard on this track, but it's not something that I find fun enough to try to grind out. Doing time trials on it was alright, but there's so much going on in this track, so many different paths and stuff, but none of them feel cohesive. I feel this way. There's some tracks in there's a track in Mario Kart 8 that was very similar, in my opinion, to which paths and stuff you could take and what was optimal, what wasn't. And I'm not the biggest fan of all of it. Maybe with time it'll grow on me like a lot of these tracks have. But as of right now, Coral Town is a big oof. I am not a fan of Coral Town. Yeah, we're just going to have to grind that one out, see if it gets better, and I hope it does. I think it will. The more familiar I get with a lot of these, the better they get. So as time goes on, I'm sure Coral Town will be a lot better for me, but as of right now, it is an oof track. Speaking of oof tracks, next up we have Blizzard Valley. I'm not a fan of Blizzard Valley. It is a fun track on occasion, but I feel like they need to do more. I don't feel like they do enough with the wind mechanic. I feel like it needs to either be implemented more or implemented differently as a whole. I don't feel like they do enough with it, and I think that it could use some work as far as implementing that versus everything else. Like Blizzard Valley just isn't a lot of fun for me, and I feel like they kind of took a gimmick and just kind of ran halfway with it instead of fully going into it. Like 90% of the track, you're not affected by it, and on the parts you are affected by it, it feels like it's in a like I don't know. It's just weird. I'm not a fan, so that's going into oof for me. Blizzard Valley is not a track I will probably ever vote for. Um, Chow Park, the infamous Chow Park, with the infamous Chow Park turn, where everybody falls off until you learn to hold off of the like take your hands off of the accelerator, and then just take the drift and go on. Once you do that, it's a really easy turn, except for when you get hit by items online. This track is, in my opinion, the epitome of chaos in this game. This track is a very easy track to get messed up on. It is a very easy track to mess someone else up on. And like once you get past that fall off point, it feels a lot better. But that point does kind of hold like some tension in your heart the entire time you're on this track until you get past it on the third lap. And I have a lot of fun with it. I think it's a really great track. It's fun to play on. The environment is really interesting. It keeps my attention. It's exactly what I want one of those environments to be like. The theme park aspect is really cool. The Chow implementation is awesome. I do feel like there could have been a little bit more here and there. But I'm all for it. And if this somehow gets us a Chow Garden game with an amusement park in it, I'm so down. Or even like a Cream game where you explore Chow Park and get all the rides operating again because Eggman destroyed them or something like that. I am so down for. Chow Park is a great track. A truly great track. Next up, we have Donpa Factory. Donpa Factory is good. Donpa Factory is one of my more voted on tracks, I think, online when it pops up. I think it's a very fun track. The section where the cars are turning and you can kind of cut through those cars to get a little bit of a shortcut, I feel like could use some work on just consistency. On Grand Prix, it could not Grand Prix, but on time trials, and it could have just been me. I couldn't figure out how to get that and avoid the cars consistently enough. It felt like it was always a little bit different. So I wish it was, from my perspective of what I've experienced so far, I wish it was a little bit more consistent, but that doesn't really take away from the track for me. I think it is a very fun track. The obstacles in it are a lot of fun. It feels like online is a completely different beast compared to doing time trials or Grand Prix or like single player mode in any way. And it's a really fun track. I think this track goes super hard, and it is truly a great track. I love it. I think it is fantastic. Next up, we have Aqua Forest. Aqua Forest is the track in this game that I feel like is the Sonic Riders track. I feel like it is the most similar to a Sonic Riders track. It reminds me of Sonic Riders throughout the entirety of the track. And because of that, it feels like it belongs in this game when I'm playing on Extreme Gear, which is really all I play on more than anything else. The red ring, I feel like, is implemented the best in this track out of any of the tracks in this game. Red ring shortcuts, I feel like, are the best implemented. When I was playing through the track and I realized that you could jump, like use your water jump to get to the red ring, and if you don't use it, you can't get there, I thought that was awesome. And it still feels really awesome to do. Even if you know you can get it done, it feels really awesome. And sometimes there's a bit of a risk online where you don't know if you're going to get hit by an item going for that or not. And, if you do, you're going to end up in last place. So Aqua Forest for me is a super fun track. It is really awesome. And it is a top 5 contender for sure. Which is going to get hard because there's going to be some more top 5 contenders, and we're going to have to narrow them down at the end. Sorry, I needed to readjust. But we're definitely going to have to narrow them down at the end. So stay tuned because we're going to get more than 5 top 5 tracks, and we're going to have to figure out which ones are going to stay and which ones are just going to have to go down to great. So Eggman Expo is our next track. Eggman Expo is awesome. I truly love this track. The environments, all the old bosses, all the old enemies. Like, this track feels so cool to play through. From the second I saw it, I was like, yo, I love this track. This is an amazing track. It blends so much modern and classic Sonic stuff together. It's just like, it's like the villain version almost of Wonder Museum, where you see all the like Sonic history stuff in like Wonder Museum, and then you see all like the Eggman history stuff in Eggman Expo. It's so cool. It kind of blends the like atmosphere of a lot of the like big Eggmobile stuff and like a racetrack so well. So Eggman Expo is another one of those, for me, the top 5 placement. The only thing that could potentially bring it down from that top 5 is I don't enjoy the water section. I don't think it's a lot of fun, and it feels a little awkward. But that's the only thing in that whole track that I even somewhat dislike, and that's mainly for time trials. I don't mind it too much online, but for time trials, it is frustrating. When I played this track the first time, I didn't understand the hype. I did not understand the hype at all. And then I played it again, and then I played it again, and then I played it again, and it slowly became my favorite track in this entire game, and that is Kronos Island. From the opening point, when you jump through, and it's a Sonic Frontiers track, and you see all this open space that you can explore, and it feels like an open world racetrack for just a second, and then you go into a narrower path, and then you go back into an open space, then back into a narrower path, and it feels like, and then you go up on the Titan. It feels so cool. This track is, they absolutely cooked with this track. This track is so good. This track is absolute fire. I love this track so much. This track is not only top 5, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, this is my number 1 track in the game. Kronos Island is phenomenal. Truly phenomenal. North Star Islands, on the other hand, is a track that when I first played it, I was like, what is this nonsense? Like, this big hammer thing hitting the ground is just as annoying here as it was in Sonic Superstars. I don't like it. Leave me alone. I don't want to play this track ever, ever, ever. And then I figure out that you can just, when it hits the ground, jump on the other path, or you can go right to the wall and whatnot. It didn't take me too long to figure that out playing the track, but I was still frustrated by it for the short time that I couldn't figure that out. And because of that, this track, like, figuring that out solved this track for me. This track is a really great track. I don't think it's top 5 material, but it is an absolutely awesome track, and it's going in great. There's so much fun to have in that track, and I really enjoy it. The last track, before we get into Crossworlds, the last track is White Space. This is from Sonic X Shadow Generations. This is Shadow's open world area in that game. You go through some of the hub worlds. It's so cool. The thing that really makes this track for me is the last lap. How much this track changes on the last lap is something I wish most of the tracks would do. I love how much this changes on the last lap. If there's a mode to where like first lap is one way, second lap is the same way, and third lap is completely different on every track, I feel like every track should do what White Space does. Obviously, because the Crossroads mechanic, maybe not as much, but White Space absolutely kills the way they do it. It is so cool. It is so awesome. The environments are fantastic. Being able to figure out where you want to use your jump or where you want to use a boost to try to get shortcuts here and there through all the purple goo from Shadow Generations. It's a truly fantastic game. Shadow Generations was a truly fantastic game. Sonic Crossworlds is a truly fantastic game. But this is also a truly fantastic track. And it is definitely going into great territory for me. Not quite top 5, but it is a truly great track. So that makes it for all the regular racing tracks in Sonic Racing Crossworlds. This is not including any of the Crossworlds, and we have 6 top 5 tracks, 7 great tracks, 4 solid tracks, 2 true mid tracks, and 3 oof tracks. That's fine. Like, that's not bad. So that's where we're at right now. But we still have to do the Crossworlds, and the Crossworlds are where this is going to get really wild, because I am not sure how I feel about a lot of the Crossworlds. Um, some of them, I will tell you this, I don't like them at all, and they're just straight up going into oof. Like, I'm gonna tell you this: Hidden World, oof. I don't like it. It is not fun. I don't like the big fuzzy Pac-Man. This has nothing even to do with Lost World. It's not Lost World hate or anything like that. I just think this Cross World sucks. Um, where's the other? There's another one that I'm like, I don't like it really at all. Um, no, I think the other ones were solved with me running through them in time trials and learning the track fully. Hidden World, I did great on the time trials. I still hate the track. It's so obnoxious. It's ugly. I don't like it. Um, but yeah, so I mean, after putting Hidden World in oof, let's go to the first track on the list, which is Roulette Road. I love Roulette Road. Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed had a track that is just like Roulette Road, and it was a very great track. I love it as a cross world. I don't think I would love it as a full track, but I do love it as a cross world. It is a really fun, like, you go from a boring, like, aesthetic, like Apatos, to going into Roulette Road, and it's like all the colors, all the lights. It's just amazing. The environment feels so cool. It's so out there. It's that casino vibe that's so much, like, so many Sonic games have. So much of Sonic has that casino vibe to it, and I really love it. And that's why Roulette Road is a great, solid cross world, because I don't love driving it that much. The aesthetic wise, it is amazing. It is a cool track, but it is not on the level that some of these other ones are when it comes to actually driving the track itself. Dinosaur Jungle. Dinosaurs, awesome. Dinosaur Jungle, not as awesome. I think this is a really cool track, but that's really about it. Like, it's cool. It has dinosaurs. It's cool, but outside of that, I don't really love it. I think it's truly just mid. Like, I don't love it. I don't hate it. If we get it, I'm like, Dinosaur Road. If we miss it, I'm like, okay, we missed Dinosaur Road. Not a big deal unless we lost it to go to Hidden World. And then I'm like, okay, I really would prefer Dinosaur Road. So that's really where it's at for me. Dinosaur Jungle is just not it for me. I'm not a fan. It's not great. Kraken Bay. I'm sorry, but Kraken Bay is also right there. Aesthetically, Kraken Bay is awesome. I love the driving on the pirate ship. It feels like a lot of kart racing games have had pirate ships recently. But I do love it. I think it is a great track aesthetically. It feels very fun. The Kraken tentacles and stuff crashing down are fun to deal with online, and they're fun obstacles to race around. The different paths are really cool, and the different advantages you can get from each path. Taking the water path versus taking the the driving path. It's a lot of fun, but it's not great in my opinion. There's still a lot more that can be done with it, and to me that puts that in solid. It is a solid cross world. I will never be mad about getting it, unless, like, a truly great soft world like cross world is up for grabs and we miss it to get randomly put on Kraken Bay. But if Kraken Bay is an option, I'm never going to be mad if someone goes it instead of random. So Kraken Bay is a solid track. It is not great, but it is solid. Lava Cave. This is one that I struggle with. Aesthetically, this is really cool. I love that it comes from another Sega game. It's really awesome. The recreation of it from that other Sega game is really cool, but I just don't like driving it. I don't like going into it. It's cool that there's like a flight path versus a driving path through almost the entire cross world, but it just doesn't hit with me the way it seems to with some other people. I'm like, okay, I would rather go to a lot of other places than Lava Cave. And because of that, Lava Cave is going in oof. Like, I will probably never choose this. If I have to choose between Hidden World and Lava Cave, I'm going Lava Cave, but not by much. Not by much at all. Next up, we have Sky Road. Sky Road is one that I enjoy. It's not bad in any capacity, but it's also not great in any capacity. Um, I have fun driving it. The shortcuts and stuff are fun. It's another one of those tracks that, I feel like the shortcuts are a bit riskier than they are on other tracks because you are bouncing on a lot of them. And if you go to jump off of something or bounce on something and you miss it or get hit by an item, you're going to fall. You're going to end up in last place most likely. And that makes it a lot of fun online. Outside of online, I don't think it's all that much fun. To me, Sky Road is like, it's solid. It's fun. I'm not going to be mad at getting it, but at the same time, maybe I won't always choose it either. Next up, we have Dragon Road. This is the one where my results and my opinion on it are probably the biggest difference. Dragon Road is the track that I struggled with the most on Supersonic and regular Sonic Speed time trials. It is a track that I feel like I do really well with online, but then my results don't always show that. Dragon Road, I love. I think it is awesome. The aesthetic of it is really cool. The track itself is fun. The water section is probably the most fun water section, in my opinion, in the entire game. I really love Dragon Road. So yeah, Dragon Road is truly great in my opinion. It is the first great Crossworld we've had. I think it is absolutely fantastic. Aesthetically, it's really cool. It's so much fun to drive. It's so much fun. The water section is really great. Like, there's nothing about this track that I dislike. It's awesome. Holoska is not a track that I vibe with a lot at all. It's not bad, but I honestly forget that it's even a crossworld in this game. So yeah, I mean, I feel like that's like when I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, Holoska. I'm not upset about it, but also it's not like, yay, Holoska. It's just, oh, Holoska. It exists. Like, it's truly mid. It is truly 100% mid in my opinion. Aesthetically, cool, but not great. Like, not. There's so much stuff that's aesthetically even better than Holoska, even amongst the Crossworlds, including the next one, Digital Circuit, our Shadow the Hedgehog representation for this game. It is a really awesome Crossworld. Aesthetically, it's really cool. I really love seeing it. It is one that I will go with a lot of the time, unless it's like a Frenzy option. Then I'll go with whatever's opposite of Frenzy. Digital Circuit, in my opinion, is really cool to drive. You have some different paths you can take. There's different ways to boost. It's really cool. I am a big fan of Digital Circuit, and it is also truly a great crossworld and a great track in this game. I have a blast with it, so it's one of my favorite crossworlds, clearly. Cyberspace. Sonic Frontier Cyberspace representation. It's good. I like it. It's fun. Usually it's one that I will go with. I'm not the biggest fan of the plane section. I feel like more could be done with the plane section in this game. But at the same time, like, it doesn't have to be. It's still a fun track the way it is. Having to dodge all the other cars and stuff like that is really cool. It feels like it puts a lot of obstacles in the way, but doesn't make it impossible either. So I'm a really big fan of Cyberspace. I think it's really awesome. It is also a great crossworld in my opinion. Galactic Parade. Galactic Parade. It's a crossworld, and it's one that is fun. I like the driving sections on Galactic Parade a lot. I'm not sure how I feel really about the flight sections on Galactic Parade, but the driving sections are really awesome. And it is truly just a solid track. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's good though. It's not mid. It leans towards the good side, but it's not something I'm, jumping at the joy for. So, Golden Temple. Golden Temple is one that I think is really cool. I think some of the obstacles are just really easy to dodge though. It's not complicated to dodge them at all, like the big balls and stuff like that. It's not hard to avoid them. Golden Temple is a fun track. I think it is really cool, but it's, it's solid. I'll choose it, and I'm not gonna be mad about choosing it, but it's not something I love. Steampunk City. Steampunk City is another one that when I first played this track, I was like, this track is awful. I hate it. It is not fun. It is not cool. It is bland. I am not a fan of the steampunk aesthetic as it is. Like, the steampunk aesthetic is not for me at all. I'm very few times have I ever been a fan of something with the steampunk aesthetic. It's just not my preferred aesthetic. But Steampunk City has grown on me, and now it has become one of my favorite tracks to race on, my favorite Crossworlds to race on. It is one that I will choose more frequently now than I did at the beginning of the game's lifespan. But Steampunk City is a track that has grown on me, and it has went from being an oof track to genuinely a great Crossworld, in my opinion. The Steampunk City Crossworld is a phenomenal Crossworld, and I'm not mad about that. Sweet Mountain. Sweet Mountain is the Crossworld, was my favorite Crossworld when the game came out, and it remains my favorite Crossworld today. I think Sweet Mountain is really awesome. The water sections are cool. There's plenty of like boost shortcuts you can take. There's plenty of fun you can have on Sweet Mountain. I am a very big fan, and this is the only Crossworld that is a top 5 in my opinion. Sweet Mountain is really awesome. I have a blast playing through it, and it is always like, if it's available, I'm choosing it. Probably even if there's a Frenzy, and I don't choose Frenzies a lot. So, Sweet Mountain is a top Crossworld for me. The top Crossworld for me. Lastly, we have White Cave. White Cave is another one that at the beginning I did not like it. I thought it was boring. I thought it was bland. I did not have a lot of fun with it, but it has grown on me. It has become one that I do not hate when it comes up. I don't love when it comes up either, and this joins Dinosaur Jungle and Holoska in the true mid category for Crossworlds. So, with that being said, we now have 7 tracks in our top 5 that we have to get down to 5. Can I... Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Oh no. I don't know how to use this thing. There we go. Add a row below. Okay. Top 5 contender. Okay, so we're going to move these down to top 5 contender. That way we just have a little bit more of a definite on, like, it separates it from being great, and it separates it into, like, this was almost top 5. We'll have 2 of these. Kronos Island is not going anywhere. I'm going to tell you that straight up. Kronos Island just will not go anywhere. It is not happening, and I think I can say the same for Eggman Expo and Aqua Forest. Those are my 4 top tracks in the game, or 3 top tracks in the game. The ones that are going to be evaluated as being potentially eliminated from the top 5 are East Stadium, Colorful Mall, Ocean View, and Sweet Mountain. East Stadium is the intro track. There's no water section. There's no plane section. Actually, I don't think there's a water section or a plane section in Colorful Mall either. Well, there is a water section in Ocean View, and there's a water section in Sweet Mountain. This is hard. This is really hard. Ocean View, I'm going to be honest, I think part of what carries Ocean View is the music. I really love the Sonic R Super Sonic Racing remix. That's a really good song, and the remix is really awesome. I love hearing that when I'm playing. I'm wondering if I took that out, if this would still be a top 5 contender for me. Maybe, but I don't know. So I think Ocean View is going to have to go down. It's not my favorite. I wish it was. I do love the soundtrack on it, but I can't for certain say that it is the best, or it is one of the best. It definitely has... It doesn't match the rest of these, and I think that goes to show, really. So now we're between East Stadium, Colorful Mall, and Sweet Mountain. My heart of hearts doesn't want me to do this. I love the aesthetic. I love how much I've played the track. I love doing time trials on the track. I love playing the track, everything else. But when it comes to playing with real people, E Stadium just is not as much fun. It is a great intro track. It is a phenomenal intro track. I've had so much fun with it. It is so great. But ultimately, I think I would rather have any of these tracks more than I would rather have E Stadium. So E Stadium, I'm sorry, but you've got to go down to a top 5 contender, which leaves our top 5 as Kronos Island, Eggman Expo, Aqua Forest, Colorful Mall, and Sweet Mountain as our top 5. And I think, honestly, for the order of our top 5, Sweet Mountain goes above Colorful Mall, but I think that's the only change I make. This is our top 5 in order: Kronos Island, Eggman Expo, Aqua Forest, Sweet Mountain, and Colorful Mall. So, if you've made it this far, I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you watching along. Definitely, if you agree, disagree, let me know down in the comments. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to try to plan on releasing videos every Friday. They will be Sonic Crossworlds relating. They may be Pac-Man World 2 related because I'm about to start playing it. It's going to be in that platformer genre, most likely, is where I'm going to be like trying to focus on. So make sure you do that. Follow me at Twitch at twitch.tv/highchris98. And yeah, so let me know your opinions on this, and I will catch you next time. Peace.